Hi, I'm trying something out here. So just let me know if you can hear me because I can hear through these. But my mic has been so bad. I'm going to run my intro. Welcome in. We're going to be talking about how nothing is new. You know how I love people who research stuff and come up with patterns. Well, I found one in a book, and I'm going to show you where we are according to this pattern. So I'll be right back.
Because your mind is on vacation and your mouth is working overtime.
If you're someone who's been feeling alone, life can be a little scary. Come talk to Grandma Sherry.
Hi. Hi. Welcome in. Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy. Steph B. Oh, my sweetheart. Hi. Kate the greatest. Yes. Yay, I have 4 people in here. Well, five others watching. Anyway, please hit the like and subscribe. And we are going to be, oh, thank you. I went to church. Um, we're going to be doing more things. Yes, the new beat. Yes. I had the original one, and then I had one that was like, oh my God, might as well have been an SPCA commercial. Made me cry every time. So we had to get something. Oh, thank you. Okay. Hey, Twist. Hi, sweetheart. Is this sound okay? Is it better than last night? Because I'm really. Oh, thank you. I went to church. Yes. Yeah, I took a shower and everything. Hey, Amethyst. Well, my baby. Oh, travel drama with your husband. So you'll be in the bush. No problem, baby. Thanks for being here. Okay. Oh, you sound lovely. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. So what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to disappear behind an avatar here because I hate looking at myself, and I'm sure you guys are just being very, very nice to me. But so let me do this. Boop. What I want to talk to you about is a book. It's called The Fourth Turning. And it's by William Strauss and Neil Howe. Okay. They actually wrote this book in, I think it was originally published in 1997. And so according to them, history goes in blocks. And let me show you something here right quick. There's usually an 80-year period that has 4 different what they call turnings. Okay, it starts with a high, like woohoo, everybody's things are going great. And then it goes into an awakening. And then it goes into an unraveling or a downcast. And the last one, which we're in right now, is crisis or chaos. And so I wanted to share this with you because of the way things are in the world right now. You know, things are so violent, and there's wars and rumors of wars, and, you know, we're having X flares causing power outages and sun things and blah. You know, it's happened before. It'll happen again. So I just wanted to show you this as proof that this happens about every 80 to 100 years. And so let me share this with you right quick. And I am going to be doing a copyright thing on this and just doing some commentary. So fair use, fair use. Oh God. Oh, sorry. My grandson moved out and he left this tarantula here. So every time I feel something on me, like it's a fly or the cat passing by or whatever, it scares the crap out of me. Here we go. Sorry. Sorry. Let me find here.
This spirited man had been expecting this crisis. Maybe not a global pandemic per se, but he knew something was coming. For a decade, this spirited man had been reading books, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. His brother, a spirited man himself, told him to read this book, The Fourth Turning. This book turned out to be this spirited man's favorite kind of book, a mind.
Yes. Yes. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Here we go. It gets interesting.
Blower. A book about how and when history repeats itself. And this is what the book said. History repeats itself in 80-year blocks called saeculum, but we'll just call them history blocks. Not exactly 80 years. This is history, not math, but roughly the span of a human lifetime, maybe 80 to 90 years. Within these 80-year history blocks, we have 4 turnings of around 20 years each. We usually call them generations. This book calls them turnings. Turnings are sort of like seasons, like spring, summer, fall, winter. Throughout our history, we've had these 80-year blocks, and the 80-year blocks have been remarkably similar to each other. We're in one now.
Yes, we are in one now. I wanted to show you this. God. Got this fly that's making me crazy. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. Okay, so in America, okay, in the Western world, these are the social generations that are still alive right now, okay? We've got the baby boomers. We have some people that are older. And like I said, these things are not written in stone. It's kind of an overlapping generational 20-25 years thing. But we have the baby boomers born 1946 to 1964, more or less. Generation X from 65 to 80. Millennials from 81 to 96. Generation Z, Zoomers is what this thing calls it, 97 to 2012. And Generation Alpha, which was from the 2010s and mid 2020s kind of things. They're also called Generation T for transformation. This gets interesting.
The first turning, the first season, is a high, an upbeat era. The second turning is an awakening, a passionate era. The third turning is an unraveling, a downcast era. And the fourth turning, well, sorry, but fourth turnings suck. The fourth turning is a crisis, an era of upheaval. We're in a fourth turning right now.
The interesting thing about this is that, yes, according to the book from William Strauss and Neil Howe, like I said, they published this in 97. So they were technically in the third turning, which was it was the there I am. Woo. Okay, so if we look at our current situation, our current timeline right now, we had a high era that was right after World War II. From 1945 to 1963, roundabout Kennedy's assassination. That's when you could work at a gas station and still afford for your, to buy a house and a car, and your wife stay home. Yeah, everybody had 2.5 kids. That's when rock and roll was invented. That was when the space race started, when all the high-tech stuff, and between you and me, I think it's because of the aliens that landed in Roswell in the late 40s. They started reverse engineering all that stuff. But anyway, Mustangs and Corvettes and Elvis Presley and all that stuff. And it's also a time when they started to desegregate the South. So there was a lot of change going on, a lot of upheaval. But on the whole, this is kind of the era that people say, hey, make America great again. Because this was the time where, just a regular average Joe could afford to feed his family and have a house and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. The unraveling. Of course, there's always the downside of living life and having a great time. Like during this time is when a lot of suppression was happening. Like, being illegal being illegal was gay. No, being gay was illegal. And even though women had earned the right to vote, they still weren't getting equal pay and were expected, like they were, before the war, before World War II, women were expected to have a subservient role and be mothers and things like that. And like I said, that all kind of ended with the assassination of JFK. Now, after that, was this book written during the unraveling? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Here we go. Okay, so I'm trying to make this real quick. So then after the high, there's an awakening that comes. And like I said, these are just roundabout. It's history. It's not math. But that's when people start realizing, you know what? Things aren't so great. We need to change some things. We need for things to be more equal. We need to take a stand. And so during this time frame is when the women's rights or the women's liberation movement started. They're burning their bras. That's when the hippies came about. nonconformity and social justice, songs by Bob Dylan and Martin Luther King Jr. and his civil rights speeches, and encouraging us to, love one another and to join together. The gay rights movement started during this time. And this sort of kind of ended with the re-election of Ronald Reagan in 1984. Yeah. So then, of course, there's the unraveling. Unraveling is when it's both good and bad, because an unraveling is where evil and injustice things start to fall apart. But there's also an upswell in wickedness and evil things that happen in society. Like during this time, the unraveling, 83 to 2003, more or less, communist Soviet Russia fell. The Berlin Wall fell. There were great songs about violence and decay in the deteriorating cities. The LA riots happened. The Columbine shootings happened. And the Cold War ended in 1991. And of course, we had the World Trade Center that launched us into Iran and Afghanistan. So where are we now? We're in the crisis. We're actually just at the end of the crisis. So hang on just a second. I want to see this. You just got groceries and brought it. Damn, you need to get another job. I know, right? Everything is so expensive. It's crazy. Hi, Rockabit, by the way. Yeah, written during the unraveling. The weird thing was that they predicted the crisis that we're in right now. Hey, Shalaby. Hi, baby. Oh, Sen, did I say hi? Hey, sweetheart. You got gifted a membership last night. Hey, Burden of Proof. Hi, sweetheart. Ryan said hi to you. Kate the Great said hi. Queen Bella. Did I say hi, sweetheart? I'm so glad you're all here. I'm sorry. I don't have anything really wonderful and uplifting for you right now, but I find this to be very interesting because a lot of people are scared of what's going on. Like, inflation is crazy, like it's never been before. And so we're kind of at the end of this crisis period, which means that it's going to pop off here any moment. All right. Police corruption and police brutality has been exposed during this time. We had the housing bubble and the stock market crash of 2008. As we can see daily, there's more school shootings this year than there has been days of the year. This is that way a while ago. So we need to remember, though, that even though this book accurately predicts what's happening today, it's looking at this historically speaking. Because before this seculum, hi, Jeffrey B. Thanks for coming in, sweetheart. Before this seculum, before this 80 years, we had just exited one. And the crisis of the last seculum was World War II, and we dropped nukes. That was pretty bad. It was pretty severe. If you think about it, in the last seculum, in that last 80 years before our 1945 to now one, we had the Great Depression, where millions of people lost their jobs and their homes. They were starving. We had the Dust Bowl. We had women's rights to vote. We had actually ending, that seculum began at the end of the Civil War. World War II, our high began. After the Civil War is when the last seculum began. And before that, the 80 years or 100 years before that, was actually the Revolutionary War. So you see, we've been going through these things over and over again. So here's the cool thing about all this. We're in our fourth turning, according to this. So we are in the crisis and the chaos portion of it. But here's the great thing. If we look at how everybody contributes, all the generations that I showed you, the boomers all the way up to Gen Alpha or Gen T, Gen transformation, have contributed to where we are right now in good and bad ways. And here is where I see it happening and going forward. Okay, like the boomers were Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and they gave us Microsoft and Apple and our computing abilities, right? The Gen X and all this is Elon Musk. And with his rockets and his electric cars and his satellites and all that kind of stuff. Coming up here now, I believe that the millennials are going to be our heroes. The millennials, like the Parkland High students, they're going to be like our World War II heroes because they're the generation that has seen what was before, has seen what's happening now, and are in a position right now to change things. Hi, Cash. How are you? And the Gen Z is like our artist generation. They're the ones that want to be content creators. They're the ones that are working on perfecting AI and its applications into everyday lives. They're also the ones that have more of an artistic heart to them. So like I said, if you were born in the middle of a block somewhere along that line, you understand what it was like before. And you have the ability to repair now to make it better for the next. And isn't that our whole thing? Right? Here, Gen Transformation. I want to show you this. Stop it. Sorry, I'm arguing with those ad kind of things. This is what they're calling it, Generation T. Have you ever heard that before? Generation T. Oh, stop. There it is. Okay. They're going to inherit the world. And it refers to those born from 2010 onwards. These are the children who know the world through a digital screen and what is more important, through touch. Hyperconnectivity, speed, and instantaneous are some of the words that go along with these children as they grow up. Millennials continue to cause the most headaches for companies. How to get on their wavelength and inside their head of these young peoples who already form a part of the working force, and it's unknown. Centennials, or digital natives, belong in the latest generation to have grown up with smartphones or whatnot. So the third generation has joined these two bent on the masters of the digital world, and a group of children, although that only accounting for about 15% of the global population, are set to conquer the future. And why the letter T? Remember when we had Gen X, and that sort of started like a, who knows, the X like in math? And, you know, it was like a who knows. They weren't really sure what was going on. So they went Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z, and now they're kind of starting over with the Greek alphabet, but I like this. So Generation X, 65 to 80, gave way to Y, 80 to 96, before Generation Z appeared on the scene in the 2000s. And with the nomenclature in apparent alphabetical order for some media, the latest generation forms a subgroup of the previous one named Z2. But for most have opted to use the letter T on that premise that the changes are so notable that the generation merits its own label. The letter T has been used before those born before 1945, known as traditionalists, or more commonly the silent generation, and they were marked by religion, austerity, and respect for authority. It's important, therefore, to keep in mind that over half a century of social and cultural change separates the old Gen T from this one. Why T then? Children born fewer than 10 years ago come to a globalized and hyper-connected world immersed in technology that engages not only sight but hearing, but also touch, and henceforth they use the letter T. Basically, these kids are going to be the ones that transform our world. They're going to be the ones that are going to lead us into our next high, our next good place. What do you think, Cash? The meek will inherit the world. The meek? Oh, and the cheesemakers. Love your grammar, raise a boot. Listen to your replay. Behave, Yazin. You soppy bugger. That's me. That's me. I'm not crying. What is she on about? T-Rex, titanium. Yeah. I'm nuts. I'm nuts. Basically, that's all I wanted to share with you guys, is that all of these things that we're going through it's nothing new. So yeah, we're going to have to go through some hard times, but I believe that we are coming into something that is wonderful. And if we just hang in there, okay? Just hang in there. Oh, I hate this thing. Sorry about that. Look like a flash. Because if you think about it, the infinity symbol goes up, comes down, comes back around, goes down, goes back up. That's what this is. Oh my God, stop. It's making me sick. That's all life is. It's just a big infinity symbol. Haley's Comet over 76 years. Woohoo! String theory. Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like I was talking about last night, if you don't think about all the things, the horribleness that's going on and what's happening, if you just live in the moment, and enjoy the people that you're with right now. Count your blessings. Look for the good stuff. Be grateful for whatnot. All of this is going to pass. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but it'll pass and we'll be okay. Leave Nightbot alone. I love him. Like I said, this wasn't going to be long. I just wanted to present this to you right quick. And the book is called The Fourth Turning by William Strauss and Neil Howe. You can look up here. Let me give you some links to some videos on it, because it is really interesting the way they've researched this and they've looked at it. And like I said, I love it when people find patterns and things. I just think that's fabulous. So, something to think about. A little snack nugget. And I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for coming in. And now you can go back and watch all the drama. You know what's going on with Granny and voices creepy and everybody's all up in it. But I love you. And I'll see you soon.
Thanks for coming in. Love you guys.